Welcome everyone to our Monday Night Patching Podcast. We are thrilled you are here. And this is the first time you have heard about this. You're in for a treat. And we're so excited for you to hear two wonderful stories from John tonight and Naomi. And I'm joined tonight with my wonderful co-host, Kathaleen Nichols, coming to us from Alaska.
Hi,
How are you tonight?
April. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here with you tonight. We have some fantastic testimonials.
Yes, we do. And we're excited for them to share and share more about this amazing technology with this X39 wearable light technology patch. We are thrilled to hear what this has done for them. So I guess we should go ahead. You want to go ahead and get started with John?
Absolutely. We're actually going to start with Naomi.
Naomi, okay.
Naomi, yep. Thank you so much, April. Naomi, are you there? There we go. So before we start with Naomi's amazing story, we are going to do our medical disclaimer. So here at LifeWave, this call is just here for education. Here at LifeWave, we do not treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any dis-ease. Later on, we'll be hearing about and learning about how this technology works, and it is your body repairing and healing itself. So this is strictly an educational Zoom call. So with that, Naomi, welcome. How are you this evening?
I'm fabulous, thank you.
Excellent, thanks for joining us. So I've had the pleasure to spend the weekend with Naomi and John here up in Alaska, so I'm so grateful that they are our guests this evening. So Naomi, what I'd really like to know about was what was life like before? Actually, with you, I know you come to the patch in a unique way. So if you want to start there, that would be great. And then, what was going on with you? What have you noticed? And we'll just go from there.
Okay, sounds great. Well, I came to the patch, my brother, John, and he has given a testimonial probably a year ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. He started introducing me to the patch in May of 22, but I'm really a Debbie Downer doubter and I'm very data driven. And so I was really not interested in hearing about the patch. I don't have any pain. The only thing I noticed as I'm aging, I'm 61, and a year ago I was 60, and I felt like I was 60. I started losing energy. I didn't have enough energy to do the things I wanted to do. And last year, my brother's dog almost died in December of 22. And I told my brother, John, you're going to need to look at putting the dog down when you come back from Hawaii. And so they came back, and my brother started patching his dog. And his dog was 16 years old. He had cataracts. He couldn't hear. And he was wobbly, could hardly walk. And he didn't recognize anyone. And in May of last year, I went to my brother's house, and Buddy came running up to me, wagging his tail, obviously knew who I was, greeted me. His cataracts were gone. He could hear me calling him. And he was just this happy dog, reminded me of when he was a young adult dog or a puppy. And his quality of life improved. And I thought, okay, maybe there's something to these patches. So I went ahead and bought in. And in July, I started wearing the patches consistently full time. And since that time, there have been many subtle changes with me, some pretty profound changes. My energy levels are back to where they were when I feel like I'm 40 again. I don't feel 61. My bone has grown back in my jaws. I went to the dentist a month ago. Last year in the spring, I lost 3 teeth, and my pockets were 7s and 8s. And I went to the dentist a month ago, and my bone has grown back on scans. My pockets are 1s and 2s. I'm now able to put implants in without any kind of bone reconstruction surgery. And my teeth are strong enough to hold a bridge on the other side, which is phenomenal, which means my quality of life continues to remain high. And then I was talking to a friend about that time we were having lunch and I was telling her about all the great things that have happened to me from using the LifeWave patch. And one of the things that I was talking and I was sharing with her, I have significant PTSD from some extreme trauma when I was growing up. And I was telling my friend, I said, you know, and I just feel my brain has balanced. Like I handle stress better. I don't get freaked out as easy. I'm just calmer. And then I had this recognition, this epiphany. It was an interesting one. But you know, from the time I could remember growing up, I've never been suicidal, but I've always been like, you know, God, if you wanted to take me today, I'm ready to go home. I don't want to be here anymore. And that has been with me my entire adult life. I'm a therapist. I've been to counseling. I've done all those things. I've tried some medication. None of that has helped me manage that. It's just something I've lived with for most of my life. And I realized, and I have no idea when it went away, but I realized as I was talking to my friend, wait, I haven't had that thought in months. I haven't said to God in the morning, hey, I'm ready to come home. That to me is just incredible. And the final incredible thing that has happened for me on these patches, well, I have two other final things. The first one is I went to my doctor 6 months ago. My blood pressure was high, 160 over 100. She says, well, I'm going to come back in 15 minutes and do your blood pressure again. And I'm thinking, God, what am I going to be able to do to reduce my blood pressure? So I did some deep breathing to help re-engage my parasympathetic nervous system. Breathe in by 4, out by 5. Did a couple of those, rubbed my neck gently here to engage my parasympathetic nervous system. I'm thinking, this never works, but whatever. And she came back and did my blood pressure and it was normal. And she said, what are you doing? And I said, well, I'm using these patches. And I gave her some samples of patches and I sent her to the X39 startnow.com or startx39now.com. And I encouraged her to go there. And she, of course, said, oh, you're giving these to me. Thank you. And then last week, well, the week before last, I went to my doctor. Maybe it was last week. It just is running together. But I go to my doctor. My blood pressure is normal on the first run. And we go through all of my tests. And my blood glucose is normal within normal limits and has gone down. I have high cholesterol. My good cholesterol is higher. My bad cholesterol is lower. And those lipids, you know, that allow the cholesterol to go into your bloodstream have cut in half. It cut by 1/3. And she looked at me and she said, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I said, I'm using those patches that we talked about. She went, So I don't know if she's ready to hear about my patches yet, but next year, when my results are even more phenomenal, she'll be ready to hear about my patches. And the last thing is, Kathaleen was with me this weekend and we ice waved up my arm. Yesterday, I looked like the queen of patches. I had patches here, I had ice wave here, I had Aeon here and here. So I had a whole bunch of patches on my hand. And I was having issues with my wrist and mobility in my wrist. I couldn't even hold a coffee cup. And I want you to see that has been all healed in one day.
Fantastic, Naomi. So again, right, the patches aren't healing. It's our body that's healing itself. We're just allowing it to have that environment that does that. But amazing results, Naomi. I mean, so basically your brother was wearing them for a year. You wouldn't have anything to do with them until you saw Buddy, the dog, be able to see, hear, act younger, and his cataracts went away. So that's when prompted you to start wearing them. And then, of course, you have the x-rays with the bone growth and the blood work that you just described. And then, you know, really the one that's closest to my heart is, it sounds like now you wake up with a lot more joy in your life, a lot of sense of well-being, and that nagging thought of, you know, not necessarily wanting to be here anymore that you've had for what you said your entire life is now gone.
Yes. And the thing about Buddy is that he can't lie to me. He can't make it up. He can't pretend he's doing better. It just is what it is. And that's what I love.
Absolutely.
An MD, they're
Wow.
now able to write your
Yes,
annual letter
absolutely.
of necessity.
That is wonderful.
Absolutely amazing results. Thank you so much, Naomi. You know, absolute life transformation. And now you're just going to, like you said, we'll check in with you in 6 months when you go back and see what else is happening with you. Thank you so much for being here. So with that, I'm going to ask John, who actually Naomi and John know each other, both fellow Alaskans. So John, you are unmuted. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. And so what I'd like, you know, basically the same questions. What were you dealing with and what results have you seen with your body coming into balance?
Okay. Basically, because of malnutrition, I ended up having to deal with limited paralysis for many, many years. The malnutrition started for me as an infant, and it affected my legs and my feet. Okay, so I've been using my upper body to be mobile, walking on crutches and what have you. And I walked into John's business, which just to get some supplements because I thought that they were working and they were having the LifeWave meeting. So I thought, and they talked about stem cells, and I said, I know a little bit about this. So I sat in on the rest of the meeting, and then Naomi signed me up with X39 and Eon, and I didn't use them religiously to begin with. I'd use them for a while, then I'd wait a little bit, then I'd use them for a while and wait a little bit. But then about 5 or 6 weeks ago, I noticed that I could move my feet, wiggle my toes inside my shoes, which I haven't been able to do that for my entire life. Okay. And I even went to All About Herbs because that's where they were having the LifeWave meetings. And I even told the people there, I said, this is something that I just realized I can do. And I told them about being able to wiggle my toes inside my shoes. And I told them then as well that I haven't been able to do this to this extent for 63 years.
Wow, John.
So, yeah.
So for 63 years, you have not been able to wiggle your toes in a significant fashion. And after 5 or 6 weeks ago, you notice you can wiggle your toes.
Right. That's the biggest change I've seen so far.
And you also said that you noticed that there was more movement in general in your ankles and your feet.
Right. Yeah, I can move my ankles. I can actually tap my foot. I like music. I've got over 9,000 songs on my iPhone. Okay, and I like a wide range of music. So, but I was just listening to music one day and realized I was tapping my foot, and I thought, wow.
Yeah, I think
That's
all
something
too.
that I haven't
That's
seen
huge.
or haven't done before. So, yeah, it was an amazing minute to figure out that something had changed, and it was a good change. So it's just, I'm anxious to see how it will continue.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't imagine that type of a result, you know, after 63 years and not being able to move your toes, especially as a music lover. Just that right there alone is such a huge thing, John, and really gives the quality of life, elevates your quality of life, being able to tap along to all that music that you love so much with your feet.
Yes.
And also earlier you told me, you know, it really gives you hope.
Yes. Yeah, I will continue. I've been a fighter. I was born a fighter. I'll continue to be a fighter. So, but it's now awesome to me that I've been on the patches long enough that I'm starting to notice some significant changes.
Yeah, changes that are happening after 63 years. Wow, John. And so, and you know, as I said, I had the pleasure to be with John this weekend, and what a bright star. So I want to actually ask Naomi if Naomi, had you noticed you were around John a little bit. Have you noticed anything just quickly, other changes with John that maybe you had noticed as an observer?
Well, John, when I met John, he's an amazing man already, you know. But the biggest change that I see with John is just his smile. It's bigger than it was, but when I first met him, the color in his skin is so much better. He just looks so much healthier. And I just love seeing that change in him.
Absolutely. Thank you for your additional observations. And thank you so much, John, for joining us. What a tremendous story. So, wow, April, I actually don't know what to say. I mean,
I
two
know.
amazing, right?
Yes. Wow. I love
Yes.
both of your stories are just really powerful and life-changing for yourselves, and also to help other people, by hearing what your stories that you've shared with us. Thank you both so much.
Absolutely. Amazing, remarkable stories. And what are we talking about? We're talking about this non-transdermal wearable light technology. And it's just paper thin. It's a piece of fabric you can see, and you can see this white circle in the middle. So what's in there is an organic nanocrystal structure. And that is made of organic amino acids, salt, sugar crystals, oxygen, and water. And then it forms like a hermetic seal in there. And it is reflective. So when you put it on your body, it's reflecting your body heat, which we know is low infrared light, back into your body at a frequency that tells your body to start repairing and regenerating. It has your body elevating GHK copper peptide. And what we know about GHK copper peptide is there's 40 years of research on that peptide, and it is doing tremendous things. It's doing things, taking care of helping fast growing cells. It's helping your all kinds of neurological issues, your brain, your nerves. It's got a tremendous antioxidant power. It's also doing all kinds of things for your DNA repair and your tissue repair. And it also activates your stem cells. So it activates those universal cells that can turn into whatever your body needs. So like I said, the technology is harnessing your body heat, your light, to get those dormant cells that have gone dormant over time in your body, regenerating, reactivating, and marching so that you lead more joyful lives, right? David, here at Lifeway, David Schmidt's mission is to help people feel younger, look better, and lead more joyful lives. And Naomi and John's stories both indicated that in their own unique fashion. So we don't know exactly what it will do for you because it's unique to your body and your universal cells. So what we can do know is that the very first patch you're wearing is already setting 4,000 genes back to a younger expression. And that just continues. And this is a patent technology. And so we are in 81 different countries. We have 130 patents. 70 of those are in regenerative medicine and science. So that's really indicates LifeWave is at the leading edge of health and wellness. And we, like I said, are distributed in 81 countries. We have over 100 clinical studies. So basically, our company is 20 years old, and we have a very stable company backed with all those clinical studies I talked about, distributing this amazing health technology all over the world. And then this X39 stem cell activating patch came on center stage about 5 years ago, which really elevated the growth of LifeWave by 20 times. And I'm giving you that statistic so that it really demonstrates how well this patch works. how many people are using this patch, which tells us how many more lives we've touched, how many people are leading a more joyful life and a better quality of life. So it's really, really the mission here at LifeWave, and we are succeeding with that every single day. So it's really similar, just to kind of give you an analogy, it's really similar to going out in the sun, and the sun stimulates your skin and allows your body to produce vitamin D, right? But the sun did not give you vitamin D. So it's very similar, except for in this scenario, it's your body that's the sun, right? It's your body heat that's the light being reflected back in. The process is called photobiomodulation. So what I really recommend is get with the person who invited you here and just say yes to your health. Say yes to your health. Yes. Say yes to your
just
health.
say yes. And just, Kathleen, I'm so thankful too that someone shared this with me 3 years ago when I was really struggling with my health. Totally changed my life. So, just get back with whoever invited you on here tonight, and then they'll be able to tell you how you can purchase at retail. You can become a preferred customer, or you can buy it for the same price you can get a wholesale price, one of 5 different wholesale packages that they can help you figure out what's best for you based on your health concerns. And another place you can go to is, we'd love if you would go to startx39now.com. On that website, you can learn so much. You will find lots of different videos where you can watch David Smith. He's the man behind this wearable light technology, all the different patches. And you can watch 3 different ones there, other testimonials, clinical studies, patents, research, everything. That is a wealth of information that we've spent years fine-tuning and putting everything together in one place for everyone, from just wanting to learn more from everyone to a doctor. So isn't that a great place, Kathleen, for everyone to just to access?
Absolutely. Startx39now.com. That is going to give you everything you need to know about this patches. Basically, just put it on your body, and the way you wear it is 12 hours on and 12 hours off. You can choose C7, which is that knobby vertebrae behind your neck or below your belly button. Those are the 2 recommended spots, because those were the 2 spots that we chose to do when we were doing all of our research and our clinical studies. However, actually any spot will do, because we are emitting that body heat, that light everywhere. So yes, get back, like we said, April, get back with the person who invited you here and say yes to on your journey. We do this 4 days a week. Tomorrow you will find our science call, and that will actually be at 5 p.m. Pacific. So join us and hear about all the different scientists and doctors that are using it in their practice. And then on Thursday, join us again at the same time, 6 p.m. Pacific, to hear other people's results like John and Naomi. And I want to thank you so much, the 2 of you, for joining us this evening. I had such a fantastic time with you. Is there any last words you'd like to say before we wrap it up, Naomi or John?
No, it's been a joy learning about the patches. I will continue to use them personally, because I firmly believe that they are making changes in my life that are benefiting me. So
awesome. Thank you so much, John. Any parting words, Naomi?
Yeah. Thank you so much for spending time with us this weekend. And it's been a joy and a pleasure to have you up here. I just have had a great time getting to know you better. And I just believe that everybody needs to be on these patches. That's my personal opinion.
Absolutely. Everybody, we can look younger, feel better, and lead more joyful lives, right? And so with that, yes, thank you so much. With that, thank you so much. And thank you, April. And we will see you tomorrow night, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi, everybody.